Welcome to Commander Tune-Ups.
In this video, we're going to show you how to make powerful budget upgrades to a cat tribal deck only using a small handful of cash.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy. Together, we're the Nitpicking Nerds.
And before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel because our subscribers are 10% more likely to land on their feet.
Disclaimer, the Nitpicking Nerds cannot grant you cat-like reflexes.
Today's deck is submitted by our friend to keep her
Right, to keep anonymity.
and anonymity. To keep her anonymity. We'll call her Jamie.
We'll just say Jamie. He or she wanted to submit a deck to us. Mm-hmm. We're good friends, so we're like, hey, we'll upgrade it for you. And he or she goes, it's a cat tribal deck, Arahbo, Roar of the Wild, Roar of the World, right? And we're like, okay, what's your budget?
$30.
$30. And we're like, that's tough. For someone else, maybe. We're going to nail it.
And we did nail it, of course. $30 budget here. Not really any limit. I don't think she cares about combos or anything, but there's not really any combos in this deck.
No, this is casual deck. Like, the power level she's going for is like 60%. If a normal deck is 75. Like, just want to be able to play.
Like, she eventually wants a creator of behemoth in this deck, but you can't afford it right now.
Because it's like 30, I think, or whatever.
So, let's get right into it. Why don't you read this awesome cat, Arahbo.
Roar of the World.
Arahbo.
Okay. Arahbo, Roar of the World is 3 green-white for a 5/5 cat avatar. Eminence. Everyone's favorite ability. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if he's in your command zone or on the battlefield, another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 1 green-white. If you do, it gains trample and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. So this is the worst Eminence creature, but it's not even that bad. Like, we're trying to play cat. We need cats out early to just start smashing people for like 15 free damage, right? Like, if you play a cat on turn 1, then you just get to hit someone for 4 on turn 2, and that's not that bad. It's basically like we have Sacred Cat in this deck. It's like build your own Sarah Ascendant.
I was playing against Jamie. I was playing against Jamie with this deck to see how, strong I was, tested back and forth.
Because you just built it.
You know how often the Dorm Pouncer deals 8 damage to you on turn 3? Apparently every other time.
Apparently pretty much always.
Alright, so let's get into our categories.
Right, so you can, like, this deck's budget, but you can actually, it's built, as you know, all decks of us are. It's built to, like, you can actually win.
It's built to also be cool.
It's built to be cool. We're going to be able to actually win. You know us. You know us by now.
We're cool cats.
Yes, and what are our categories? Our first one is cat payoffs.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about earlier.
Okay, well, cat payoffs is our first
cat
category.
payoffs is our first category.
Why don't you read Kasali Slingers?
Yes, Kasali Slingers is probably one of the best cats in EDH. Kasali Slingers is 4 and a green for a 3/5 cat warrior with reach. When it or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Aura Shards is way too expensive. This is like 10 cents.
This is budget Aura Shards for
budget
cats.
Tribal Aura Shards. I'm in. This card is great.
Yeah. I mean, you want Aura Shards, so why would you not want
Right. You don't have to play Reclamation Sage. You get to play this.
It's a cat.
It's just everything you want. I mean, it's great.
If you play EDH, there's artifacts, there's enchantments. They're all over the place. They're on everyone's board pretty much. You want to be blowing them up. And
for cheap. On the cheap. And 5 is not that bad.
And this little slinger dude,
right.
He just throw rocks at, like, so he just, take a rock and, like, chuck it at, like, a Thran Dynamo.
Or someone's dilating mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we know enchantment flavor sucks. Let's move on to Regal Caracol. 3 white for a 3/3 cat. When it enters, you make 2 1/1 lifelink cats, and other cats you control get +1/+1.
And lifelink.
Because
how
many times can we put lifelink on a card?
Even though the cats you already get have lifelink, it gives your other cats lifelink, and also gives them lifelink.
Right, perfect. Perfect insurance. Cat Lords are great. I mean, obviously, right?
This is a really good Cat Lord. It adds, 7 power for 5 mana? That's good.
It's actually reasonable.
And however many number of cats you have, it's also adding 1 more power for each cat.
Lets you go wider. If you have a cat in play already, Arahbo's going to pump it and has lifelink.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Definitely. So, Pride Sovereign is the next one. It is 2 and a green for a 2/2 cat. It gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control, and you can pay white, tap it, and exert it, which means it won't untap next turn, to create 2 1/1 white cats with lifelink. So just keep pumping out cats, basically, and then he gets bigger. You can try to go for like a really huge attack with him later.
If he ever has Vigilance, I think there might be ways to give him Vigilance. Like, I don't remember if we cut Always Watching or not.
We did.
It was originally that. Okay, but if he has Vigilance at any point, which can happen.
Yeah, if you feel like giving him Vigilance, you can obviously do that.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool.
And then you get to attack, and then you get to make the Duders, which is sweet.
But yeah, this card's strong. It's going to give you a board presence. It's going to force someone to like board wipe.
It gets big fast too.
Definitely.
I mean, you have 2 or 3 cats. It's already up to like 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Like not hard. Turns out half the deck is cats.
Yes, these are mostly from the Arahbo precon, coincidentally. But Jamie didn't buy the precon, so most of these cards are new that we're adding.
Yeah.
She just kind of had cards.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite way to build a deck. It's like, here's the cards I have. Like, I don't know how good this deck is, but I can't wait to make it better. All right. Last cat on our cat payoffs. We got Hungry Lynx. It is a 1 and a green for a 2/2 cat. Cats you control have protection from rats. They can't be blocked, targeted, or dealt damage by rats. Take that. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent makes a 1/1 black rat with Death Touch. Whenever a rat dies, put a counter on each cat you control.
So you give these rats away, and
You're guaranteed to get 1 rat. Like, if they... Like, Hungry Lynx is probably not going to die. You're going to get 1 rat.
who's targeting out Hungry Lynx?
I don't know. That'd be really weird.
So like you get 1 rat, your opponents get a rat, and they're going to use that rat to block any like big attacker coming at them that's not a cat.
Right. And you are not affected negatively by the rats at all.
No, until you get blown out by
You
someone.
have to play politics. Here's a Death Toucher. Feel free to trade with it so that I can get counters and I won't even, like, maybe I won't attack you or whatever.
Also, it's kind of adorable.
It's really cute. He looks really hungry.
He's just going to eat that little mouse.
Yes.
And make all his little friends bigger somehow by eating the mouse.
Yeah, well, no, they split it.
They all share it.
They split it.
No
That's
matter-
adorable.
You have 105 cats out.
Yeah.
They all share one little rat.
All right. Next category is utility cats
These are cats.
with utility.
Dang. Who would have
Yes.
thought?
Well said. Well said.
Wow. Well, what is the first one? His name is Tarzan Swordsmith, 3 and a white, cat soldier, 2/3. When he enters the battlefield, you may pay X. If you do, you may search your library for an equipment with converted mana cost X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library.
2 equipment in this deck. One is Swiftfoot Boots, because Lightning Greaves is too expensive. And the other one is one of the best cards in the deck. Skull Clamp. You may have heard of it. Absolutely. As soon as I heard $30, I was like, okay, $25, because Skull Clamp is going in this deck.
Oh, dang. Just immediately?
You're green-white, and you don't have the best ways to draw cards. Outside of creatures, like, you just need Skull Clamp, and I think that one of the best things a budget deck can do is put in more tutors for Skull Clamp, even if that's one of the only cards you can get.
Give him the clamps.
Open the Armory, Steel Shaper's Gift. They're not even that budget, but they're still really good if you're like a mono-white deck.
Clamps is hanging out with us.
Oh, yes, great.
Oh, I just thought you would want to know, because you didn't seem to acknowledge Clamps' existence up there.
Yeah, I did not acknowledge that. Fans of our Karamitra video, by the way, Karamitra's in this deck. She's actually in here. But fans of that video will love the inclusion of White Mane Lion, Fleetfoot Panther, and Teamer Sabertooth in this deck. They're all cats. They all save your other cats, and if you have...
They are all cats. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird that there's... Why do cats have this ability? Is this a cat ability?
I don't know.
Is bouncing creatures to your hand a cat ability? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, they all save your creatures, basically. Teamer Sabertooth being the best one. Because you can save multiple creatures over and over. But if you ever need whenever a cat enters, White Mane Lion just keeps doing that. Karamitra's in the deck. Get a bunch of lands off of it. They fit right
Why
in.
is there 3 of these cats?
You're just bewildered. I was very... I play all of them in a deck, and I was still like, oh yeah, they're all cats.
Team Sabertooth is sweet.
Yeah, that card is
I
really
really like that card. It can pay off a lot of things.
Next tech cat is Prowling Serpapard. I think the only snake cat that isn't a changeling.
This snake cat, your creature can't be countered.
Yes.
And it's just
it
like
can't be countered.
It's
and
like
your creature
oddly
can't.
pushed power wise.
It's a 4/3 for 3.
It's a
That's not even that bad.
It's like just pushed power toughness wise. I mean, and creatures can't be countered. Well, it turns out your deck.
Sure, that's gravy. Like, if you need a creature to stick, like your lifelink Cat Lord, Regal Caracol, it's gonna stick.
And it's gonna pump your dude, and he's gonna get lifelink, and he's gonna be a 5. So now he's a 5/4 with lifelink.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just making creatures not being able to be countered in your decks like this is good, because like one of your biggest weaknesses is just getting countered. Sometimes you have nothing. It's like
Sometimes you just get got.
Sometimes you're just gonna tap out and get countered, and it's gonna suck because that's what's gonna happen in a green-white deck.
Yep. Especially when you need to resolve something like Craterhoof Behemoth.
Yeah.
Or
tap out for my Craterhoof.
Yeah, we'll get to the rest of the cards that are actually in here. So the last technology cat. Why don't you read it? Because you like this lady.
Oh,
And, well, so do I.
Oh, I positively love Miri, Weatherlight Duelist. 1. Green, white for a 3/2 first strike cat warrior legend. Whenever Miri, Weatherlight Duelist attacks, each opponent cannot block with more than one creature this combat. As long as she is tapped, no more than one creature can attack you each combat. This card's just good.
Rock solid.
I mean,
actually, just pretty sweet.
This card is really good if you want to be setting a lot of attackers, which this deck does. It's really good at protecting you after you swing out with your team. I mean, what they can send one creature at you. There's a Silent Arbiter for just you, which is very helpful. I think this card is
underrated.
I think this card is just legitimately good. I think if you're playing a green-white attacks matter deck, this should be in there.
Yeah, especially since this deck is perfect for this deck.
Oh, and it fits right in there. This is a cat deck, so this is even better in this deck. I mean, but I think this just belongs in green-white.
And this deck isn't even that competitive.
Yeah.
Well, while it can still win.
This card's sweet. I actually, the reason Jamie has this card in the deck is because I traded it to her just so she could have it for her deck.
Yeah, right.
It's an awesome card.
Next, we are going to really hone in on the budget, and it's like, what is budget about this deck that could actually be a strength?
Well, why don't we read the first one?
Well, I want to talk about the mana base for a sec before I read the first one.
Okay.
There's a lot of basics in here. There's like 27 basics in here. Let's read the first one now, knowing that fact. Wave of Vitriol, 5 green for a sorcery. Each player sacrifices all artifacts, enchantments, and non-basic lands they control. For each land sacrificed this way, they search for a basic and put it onto the battlefield. Then each player who searched shuffles their deck. This is a spicy meatball.
It's definitely spicy. This is such a weird card.
You can just especially if you're playing against people more competitive than you can just KO them right out of nowhere.
A lot of players will lose this if they're playing 3, 4, or 5 color decks.
You play very few basics.
It's all my decks.
Like some of your decks, but for real though, some of your decks play 6 basics. Mm-hmm. If you have 3 of them in play and you lose like 6 lands, you get color screwed and you get set back to the Stone Age.
Yeah, I mean the Stone Age is 6 mana. That's not.
And even if let's take one of my decks now, I play a lot of utility lands. I just lose all my utility. Like let's say I lose a couple land drops, and then I can't Maze of Ith or Gyre Reach Sanitarium or every utility land.
Also, don't forget artifacts and enchantments are being destroyed. Every one of them.
Yeah, and you Bane of Progress, and they don't get replaced by anything.
Yeah, they don't get. Yeah, they're just gone, and they get some lands back if they have enough basics to replace them.
Absolutely awesome. Try out this card. It's really good in here.
The 4 and 5 color decks will really get screwed by this. How many basics do 4 and 5 color
They just can't afford to play more than
2, 3,
5, more than 5, right?
I mean,
5 is pretty high.
And 5 feels high, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that card's great. We also have Guardian Project. This is budget because
it's brand new. Get this
it's
card now.
$1. If you play Beast Whisperer, which this deck does, you probably just want this too.
Yeah, most of the time. Not every time, but I would say a lot of the time. This is only $1.
And pay off with White Mane Lion stuff. Absolutely.
Yep.
We also have one that I really wanted to mention because I like this card. Sky Hunter Skirmisher. This is...
Oh, talk about cards I can't tell you what they do off the top of my head.
I was just checking the price here. It's 11 cents. Wave of Vitriol is 50 cents. So this guy is 1 white for a 1/1 Cat Knight with flying and double strike.
Oh, this guy. Oh, no, I know this guy. You know why
Yeah.
I know this guy because this guy was a staple in Duels of the Planeswalker 2010.
Yeah, he was so good. Now I'm remembering that. He was really good in that Ajani deck or whatever.
Yeah, he was. He was in the Ajani. I definitely remember this card from the Ajani deck back then. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I remember this card is because he was a staple in Duels of the Planeswalker.
Yeah, so a lot of your cats, they're there to beat the crap out of people. They're there to you're gonna be the deck that presents the board presence and needs to wipe. And we have ways to protect from that.
Yeah, you're the deck that makes other decks have to play board wipes.
Right, and we've got some protection for that. And eventually you can get Teferi's protection. It's not in here.
There's heroic.
We have Heroic Intervention is the big one, and Selfless Spirit is the other one. There's also Court of Calling, which can find Selfless Spirit.
Did you cut?
And I cut Face Reward.
Face Reward.
Because I just don't like that card.
I
especially since we're making tokens.
Yeah, that's fair.
But this guy, just a rock solid addition to the team.
Super budget. He's like a worse Adorn Pouncer, but it's still good because in this deck
it's just fine.
It's just gonna get +3/+3. You always have that ability, and when your double strikers, flyers are getting +3/+3, attacking for 8 is no joke.
Oh yeah, there's I guess I didn't mention it. We're not gonna specifically mention it, but Rancor is in this deck, and Rancor just goes right on any of these cats you want to push. It just helps push their damage. Rancor never goes away. You're gonna get to play it over and over and over. I like Rancor a lot.
I kind of like that in this deck. I would not have thought of that.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
Sometimes BZ outthinking me.
All right. You may have heard us mention Sacred Cat. We're not kidding. Sacred Cat's in this deck, and it's probably really good. Honestly.
I mean, it's just another cat.
It's a 1-drop. She played early. It's Sarah Ascendant Light, right? It's going to 4 people over. It has a second life, so it's not that bad. It's the perfect creature to just Skull Clamp away, also.
Oh, it is very Skull Clampable.
Super duper.
You can pay 1 for Skull Clamp, pay 1, 3, draw 2, pay 1. So, like...
5 mana, draw 4.
Draw 4. And, that's you're not paying the mana all at once.
Yeah, it's installments of 1, as you choose.
Yeah, installments of 1 as you choose. Yeah.
Rock solid.
Yeah, it's rock solid there.
And then we have, for more card draw all at once, we have Shamanic Revelation and one of the cutest named cards, Camaraderie.
What does Camaraderie do?
Camaraderie is 4 white-green for a sorcery. Draw a card for each creature you control. You gain that much life, and creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
And what does Shamanic Revelation do?
Now that one is 3 green-green. Draw a card for each creature you control. Ferocious. You gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater.
Turns out if you're... there's no cat that if it gets +3/+3 does not have 4 power.
Yeah, that's true. Not in this deck anyway.
I don't think they exist.
I just realized both of these cards are life gain and card draw.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even thinking about it, but they ran we don't care that they gain life really.
That would make sense on why you put them together.
They just happen to. I care about the card draw and the fact that they both cost $1 or less. Budget. #budget. So now we got our budget. We got our cats.
Now
we
have
know the
we have our #budget.
Right. #budget. #cats. #something else.
And
now we got to win.
#budget cats. #utility cats. No, I forgot the last one.
Whatever. We're not going to do that again. Winning the game is next. Time to win with our cats. Some of them are cat specific. Other of them are just absolute powerhouses.
Well, let's start with Overwhelming Stampede. 3 green for sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
All your creatures get +X/+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control.
Right. So you got a big fatty. They're done. They're donezo.
Yeah, I play this in my Golta deck.
I wonder why.
+12/+12.
Well, for 5 mana, it seems reasonable. Honestly, this is the budget Craterhoof.
Yeah, it is a very.
This is like a 1-for-1 budget replacement.
Yeah, it is. It is a budget Craterhoof. It's good. This is just a good budget card.
Honestly, it's going to close out games almost as much as Craterhoof does.
Yeah.
Let's say 60% as often.
Yeah.
75%. Whatever.
You still need a lot of creatures. The only difference is you need one big one.
Mm-hmm. You're going to need something with.
You can't have 10 1/1s. It's not going to do anything here. But
that's not even that bad.
If you have 10 1/1s,
right?
But if you have 10 1/1s and you're Arahbo out,
there you go. Now we're cooking.
Pretty much just as good as Crit.
Well, actually, so let's say Arahbo is actually pretty strong when you play him, and it's cool that when he dies, it doesn't really matter because he still does something. So if you have, let's say, Overwhelming Stampede, and you have Arahbo, now you attack, and if you have any extra land left over, your cats go from 6/6. You can make any number of them 12/12 by paying 3 with Arahbo's ability.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It starts to really pile on the
damage.
damage.
And don't they gain trample from Arahbo's ability too?
Yes, they do.
I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you can just give them. Well, I guess they already have trample, but you can give them extra trample. Give them
super trample.
Give them trample.
Give them trample.
Give them trample.
Elish Norn. Jamie had an Elish Norn lying around. It's insane. I mean, we don't really need to go over Elish Norn. It's just amazing. It's going to win you games. But the next couple, you might not know what they do. Door of Destinies. 4 mana for an artifact. As it enters, choose cat. Whenever you cast a cat spell, you may put a charge counter on Door of Destinies. Cats you control of the chosen type, which is cat, get +1/+1 for each charge counter on Door of Destinies. Every cat you play pumps all of your cats forever. As long as this is gone. Out, right?
Yeah. It's
White Mane Lion coming back to be awesome again.
Yep, he can get you as many triggers as this is why. I mean, again, this is a go wide deck.
Yes.
So if you get 2, 3, 4, 5 cats out, and there's 3 counters in this, and each of them getting +3, now you got 5 cats. That's 15 extra power.
Very similar to this. Coat of Arms, 5 mana artifact. All your cats are going to get +1/+1 for each other cat in play. And yes, it works for opponents too, but you're just going to send in and slam them. It's not really,
Unless there's another tribal deck, which I wouldn't worry about too.
And similar to that, Mirror Entity, which is a 2 and a white for a changeling. It's a 1/1. You can pay X and make all your creatures all types and XX until end of turn. We have one last card to mention. It is the Cat Engine. You just poop out a bunch of cats with White Sun Zenith. X white for an instant. You make X 2/2 white cats, and then you shuffle it in.
So you just get cats equal to all your extra mana. This is instant speed.
End of turn.
Yeah, so you can He's like, I have like 10. I have 10 power. It's not that much. Go
Right,
ahead.
yeah. I'm not going to wipe
on top of 25 mana.
Yeah, he's only got 10 power. Uh-oh.
He's got 40,000 cats.
I'm dead. I concede.
And overwhelming stampede.
Of course. Of course. Got to have it all. Those are the ways we win. The original CMC. You'll notice the tapped out link for the original deck is only 97 cards. That's what we got. We added 3 cards. Don't worry. It was 3.24. New average CMC 3.12. That's pretty low. That's not even that clunky.
Yeah, it's cats.
It's cats. What are you expecting? I mean, 3.12. Is that you're going to get to cast more spells than your opponents?
If your opponents are playing less spells than you.
Right. If your opponent's got a 3.8 deck, you're just going to play more spells than them.
That's true. That's on average. That's how that works.
Right. Exactly. So, budget restriction. It was $30. Guess how much we spent?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
$29.97.
Damn.
We're good. But that, I think that'll do it, right?
Yep. I think that's it for this video.
I love building around brews. Like, I love with budgetary restrictions.
Wow. If you would like to send in a deck list, all you have to do is go to Tapped Out and put your deck, the exact 100 cards, put it right there on Tapped Out, grab that link, put it down in the comments below, tell us any restrictions you have, and we'll take a look at it. At minimum, we will respond to you and tell you...
Like, it's in our backlog, like, we're looking at it.
Yeah, we'll at least respond to you and let you know what
we never just go, oh, that deck's stupid, we're rejecting it. No. No.
No, we'll respond, we'll let you know what we think.
Our patrons, actually...
Get access to that Discord. What are our patrons' names?
Our patrons' names are Dustin, Joseph, and Tyler. And they are the greatest humans to have ever walked the earth.
He hates their last names. He hates that it's Dustin St. Right.
We know them on a first name basis because we talk to them.
He hates that the last name is Tyler Bunn. He hates that the last name is Joseph Van B.
You're just bragging that you remember their last name.
I remember your name.
I remember their names
Andrew
too.
Up here.
We're best friends. I know them on a personal basis. But
let's be clear. I didn't remember them. I'm looking at this sweet card here, and I can just see it.
Yeah, it's right here.
I'm reading them.
Yes. Okay. But you know the deal. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we're out of here.
Peace out, Tribe Scout.